Gervonta Davis say you need the money.
Shit.
What's going on with you and Gervonta?
If I'm a boxer, he a boxer, you a boxer, we all need the money.
I ain't doing it for free.
Thank you.
What if Gervonta said, hey, I'll come up to 154. I'll come up to 154 while you talking.
Oh man.
You go to you'll fight Gervonta at 154?
I wish him the best. That's all I'm gonna say.
Bro, when people, what I got from that is he's a hater. You don't know me as a person. Let's say you don't like me. Like, you don't know me. Like, you feel me? And I don't give a fuck. If everybody in the crew win, I mean, win.
Question for your proud father.
There are levels in boxing, and Terence Crawford just made it clear where he stands. In a recent live interview, he did more than hint at criticism toward Gervonta Davis. He openly challenged him. What began as a calm conversation quickly shifted into a direct call out as Crawford questioned Tank's recent outings, his standing in the sport, and even the credibility of his latest victory.
Tank said I was a meat lover. He came in, he was like, oh, this guy, you a meat lover.
But Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. If Tank get to pick his opponent, he would do it. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Y'all was doing the back and forth shit. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. I don't like.
It's not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. No, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's, using what he got to shield him. Like, he got a lot of security guards around him, and he he's in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
I respect him as a fighter.
Yeah.
He definitely got skills, he got power, he got tremendous boxing ability, but like his core personality and his ways, nah.
This goes beyond simple pre-fight talk. Terence Crawford made a clear statement. He acknowledged the hype and the chatter around Gervonta Davis, but showed he is not convinced. In his view, Tank has been steering away from the toughest challenges, and those comments reignited tension across the lightweight division. If anyone believed their issues were settled, this changed that. What Crawford said, what he hinted at, and the tone he used immediately grabbed attention and stirred debate.
Instead of going out on 3 fights, you know the last 2 fights you want to go out on? Yeah, the last fight you want to go out on. Like, who? Do you have anybody in mind? No, I'm saying no. I don't have the name right now. But I got somebody I want to call out after this fight. You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight? Yeah. Who is that? I'm not gonna tell you.
Is it Lomachenko?
Somebody asked Lomachenko. Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. What you think about that? Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready.
I need 3 now.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a 1-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
He's not worth it. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on, bro. Cam got to fight somewhere else and prove himself, and then you know how they got UFC and like the underground shit. He got to fight on the underground shit and then get that.
He got to go to the G League.
You have an idea what?
The first major moment came when the host brought up Gervonta Davis, saying that Terence Crawford needs the money. Crawford's reaction said it all. He quickly responded that everyone fights for money and nobody steps into the ring for free. His point was simple. Both of them are prize fighters competing for paydays and legacy, so acting above that makes no sense. The tension continued When he was asked how he would feel about Tank moving up to 154 to face him, Crawford calmly replied that he wished him well. It did not sound like support. It sounded dismissive. The message was clear: he is not chasing Tank, and if Tank wants that challenge, he would have to rise to a completely different level. Judging by Crawford's tone, he does not view that scenario as a serious threat.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes and, daring to be great.
You would fight him,
man. Tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said I got a glass chin, so tell him to come and touch it.
Wow, man. Gervonta said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-count.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
I don't know.
He remains unbeaten for a reason. Terence Crawford understands his value and has no interest in spending his prime years on hypothetical bouts with fighters who struggle to get past Lamont Roach Jr. Things escalated when Terence Crawford moved from general criticism to breaking down Gervonta Davis's most recent performance. Asked about the bout with Lamont Roach Jr., Crawford gave a blunt and detailed assessment without holding back.
Let me ask you this. You can help me out on this. This last fight, Roach and Gervonta. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Man.
I mean, you can't take a knee. That's a knockdown. Because I saw Floyd break his hand hitting the guy and took a knee, and they gave Floyd an 8 count. So I'm trying to figure out how Gervonta avoided that. And then I'm trying to figure out how he got his guy come up to the top of the ring and wipe grease out his eyes. They do that now, bud.
I guess that's part of the new, boxing era.
When you saw that, tell me when you saw this, you saw him take a knee.
He pointed to a moment that he believes should have been ruled a knockdown and questioned why it was ignored. Terence Crawford also highlighted the strange scene where Gervonta Davis's team stepped onto the apron during the fight to wipe grease from his eyes, calling it a clear rules issue. He went further by mentioning referee Steve Willis, noting that Willis appeared to begin a count and then abruptly stopped as if instructed otherwise. At that point, the discussion moved beyond simple analysis and into serious questions about how the situation was handled.
And then you see he go to the apron and this guy come up to the top of the ring. Well, you're like, hold on, what's going on?
I'm just as confused as you. I said, huh? I was just like, oh, that's crazy. And Steve Willis a great referee.
He is.
And he started counting, then stopped it. Like they said, hey, you better stop counting. Wow. They don't do that again.
Terence Crawford was direct about it. He said that without that disputed moment being overlooked, Gervonta Davis likely would not have come out on top, and he even felt Lamont Roach Jr. deserved the nod. That is not the kind of comment you usually hear from another top-level fighter. Still, Crawford made it clear he was not trying to protect relationships or popularity. In his view, Tank entered the bout too relaxed, underestimated Roach, and that mindset nearly cost him the fight.
Cards. Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores about 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
Most people expected Gervonta Davis to handle Lamont Roach Jr. with ease. treating it like a routine payday, followed by a knockout clip and a confident celebration. Instead, Roach changed the narrative and made it a much tougher night than anyone predicted. From the opening bell, Lamont Roach Jr. applied steady pressure, stayed sharp, and showed no hesitation. The opponent many labeled as a simple tune-up pushed Gervonta Davis into one of the hardest fights of his career. Then came the 9th round, the sequence that stunned viewers when Tank went down after absorbing a clean right hand followed by a body shot. It did not appear to be a slip or a loss of balance. It looked like a legitimate knockdown.
How is this not a knockdown? Tank Davis was just exposed, man. What is going on in the sport of boxing, man? KDB Sports and Entertainment.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about it.
And it was not only Terence Crawford who said it. Prominent figures like Eddie Hearn and Oscar de la Hoya also took to social media, arguing that it should have been ruled a knockdown with no real room for debate.
My opinion, it was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision, or I think the draw was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take the knee, man, if you take the knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line. You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes, he's like, a point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right? The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? It's not, look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing. It just doesn't happen. Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna settle on, but the rules are the rules.
That night, I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. Look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, that, he should be
The referee letting that moment go shifted the entire momentum of the fight. In fact, it may have been the reason Gervonta Davis kept his unbeaten streak intact.
I think the hardest puncher I ever faced. No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Oquendo, he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He RM.
Here's the twist. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. go way back to their amateur days in the same DMV area. There was history between them, and perhaps Tank assumed he already knew how to handle Roach.
And Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach. Mm-hmm. Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, Roach and him back and forth battles and whatnot. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight, you understand? Because Roach always, he come to fight. And I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
But Terence Crawford made it obvious this is a different level than the amateur ranks. The pros hit harder, move faster, and play smarter. If Tank believes he can rely on his past reputation, he's going to get a harsh reality check.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah,
but like his core personality and his ways.
One of the most talked about parts of the interview came when Terence Crawford questioned why the biggest names in boxing aren't facing each other. He mentioned fighters like Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia, and Devin Haney. A dream card of matchups sitting idle. He didn't sugarcoat it, calling the situation what it really is, politics.
I think all of them should fight,
you got Lopez, Teofimo, you got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Tank, you got Garcia. You got 5 guys. That's a nice little
Devin Haney,
yeah. You got 6 guys. Don't nobody want to fight nobody?
I don't know. I think they all should, be fighting each other.
So what we got going on?
Politics.
Bro, if Shakur and Haney and Tank, if all them leave, if they retire with undefeated records, that's some bullshit. That's some straight up, and you know it too, bud. Ain't no way those guys should have undefeated records. If they're out in their prime and they damn near in the same, no, ain't no way.
Terence Crawford made it clear that if all these top fighters retire undefeated without facing each other, it would be a huge mark against this generation of boxing. His point, if you're at the top, you should take on the top. He even said, I ain't going to be the only one walking around with a loss, showing a mindset focused on competition over image. So if Tank is avoiding fights to protect his unbeaten record, Crawford is already ahead in both skill and perspective. It wasn't just about one matchup. He also offered insight into the Ryan Garcia versus Tank situation, explaining that while Tank may have been justified, the strict rehydration clause clearly impacted Ryan's performance.
Ryan Garcia and Tank, they talk about they might fight again, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot made about this rehydration clause. You don't have that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you have this in this one. So theoretically, he's supposed to come in at 168. Night of the fight, he might be 180, 185. You cool with that? I had sat down with Oscar, and Oscar said he think the rehydration clause had a lot to do with why Ryan didn't defeat Gervonta. What do you think?
I think 2 things. I'm gonna say 3 things. I think Ryan had an injury already previous in training. I think the way he did have an effect on him, because when you see him with Devin, he was totally different.
Oh yeah,
fighters.